Right, Karibu Sana. This is the Daily Report. I'm yours truly, Stanley Nyaringita. Catherine Simaloi is on the sign language docket. In case you're just joining us, remember we're keeping our eyes at that particular chimney, which is atop the Sistine Chapel in Vatican City. The conclave has begun. In case you're wondering what is a conclave, this is where 133 cardinals electing the next pope. This particular deep woven kind of traditions that trace back to so many years back. We'll be getting to understand what these particular traditions mean, but then this particular chimney is so important. And even before we even get to, really understand, yes, we're going to be breaking it down to you and how this particular process of even electing, the next pope really is, and just running to you the kind of what you really need to understand. First off, remember the Catholic Church currently has about 252 cardinals, but then according to the Apostolic Constitution, only 135 of them are eligible to vote. It is important to note that two-thirds majority is required, which basically means the elected pope needs to have about 89 votes out of the 133 electors. The cardinal electors consist of about 5 cardinal bishops, 110 cardinal priests, and 20 cardinal deacons, I should say, and this hierarchy is observed when casting votes. So the Apostolic Constitution dictates that only 120 cardinal electors should vote, but the Pope Francis dispensed this number by electing more cardinals, which means that there'll be more countries, and there'll be countries which are being represented for the first time. This include Singapore, Malaysia, and Haiti. So by 6:30 p.m. this particular evening, the process to choose a new leader for the Catholic Church formally began. It is key to know that there are rules. For example, the doors at the Sistine Chapel have been locked to outsiders. The Constitution prohibits recording of the conclave with the Wi-Fi being switched off at the Vatican once the conclave commences. Also, if anyone shares or even eavesdrops on the happenings of the conclave, they are excommunicated from the church. Any Baptist Catholic male qualifies to become pope, but in practice, popes are almost always a cardinal. And if a layman is elected pope, then the bishops immediately ordain him as a deacon. Also, it's key to know that priests and then bishop before officially becoming the pope. So a cardinal is also not permitted to leave a conclave except for grave reasons such as illness, and only with approval of a majority of the cardinals. That is just a nutshell of what you would need to know this particular evening. But then the gentlemen who have the wisdom and they have seen this, they live and breathe on this particular matter of electing a new pope who will be the leader of the billions of Catholic around the world. Right just next to me, Reverend Professor Father Patrick Mwania. He is Vice Chancellor at Tangaza University. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And Reverend Father Peter Ken Njonge from the Archdiocese of Nairobi. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Both of you, do you have butterflies in your stomach? I'll start with you, Reverend Mwania. Do you have butterflies in your stomach right now? I mean, this particular chimney atop the roof of Sistine Chapel, everyone is eager to see black or white. For you, do you have butterflies in your stomach? The ambitions there?
Yes, I would say yes, I have butterflies because this is an exciting moment for the entire Catholic fraternity all over the world, waiting to see a new pope being elected, and it's always an exciting moment. Even if you experience the previous one, any new one that comes is always very exciting and a prayerful moment, I would say. Yeah.
And Reverend Njonge, you definitely witnessed the 2013 one.
Yeah.
When you compare 2013 and right now, anything out of anything new according to you, or just, I mean, it's same old, as much as yes, these are traditions that date back to so many years. Yes. But then for this year, do you see anything peculiar, new?
Of course, there'll be, because things are changing daily nowadays.
Yes.
Because of the issue of technology, it's not like 2013, of course, and things are changing drastically, and also people are informed, not like 2013. And of course, there are those even ahead, of course, of the information prior to even what we are discussing now. And so there is a lot people are expecting. And of course, I know people are eager. There is this issue of the African Pope and all that.
And we'll get to that deeply.
Yes, exactly. And so there is the dynamic, you know, of 2013 and, you know, 2025, having that we had a Pope who also people have learned so much about him. Remember, he is the first Jesuit Pope. Then again, he has, like you have said in your introduction, has created more cardinals, and you know, and more countries now have been represented for the first time. So there are so many people, so many things will happen, and of course there is a great difference between the transition that we had of, you know, a pope who did not, you know, die, resigned that time, and this time is a pope who has died, and we have a conclave for the new one. So of course there is a big difference between 2013 and of course 2025.
And Reverend Mwani is still on this particular how things are changing over the years, and he mentions even how the advent of technology. And one would wonder, why so much secrecy as it now? Why is this particular process? Why do they still stick to this you know, deep-woven traditions of so many years and so many decades ago?
Yes, the tradition has it that the conclave is guarded with a lot of secrecy. And that we saw you know, vividly when the cardinals walked into the Sistine Chapel, and they have to take an oath that says that they are ready to abide by the rules of the conclave, but at the same time they are supposed to keep the secrecy. That has been the tradition, and I guess that of course says a lot about what the church is. Is not a political, you know, happening. It's something deeply spiritual. It's something that you know, that has God at the center, and that explains why even the entire process begins with Mass, with the invocation of the Holy Spirit, just to show that this is a deep spiritual matter. And secrecy, of course, is part and parcel of it, so that it doesn't really allow people to start campaigning. So I think it's a tradition that has been there, and is a tradition that the church cherishes, and is something that we have to respect.
Most definitely, courtesy of this secrecy. You can see this particular live pictures here. This famous chimney atop the roof of the Sistine Chapel in Vatican City. All eyes are on this particular place and this particular chimney. Black smoke says no pope. White smoke says we do have a pope. The last time we saw white smoke was on the 13th of March 2013, and we now had Pope Francis. Reverend Njonge, and mostly here for the Gen Zs really, the young people who have lived quite a number of their lives seeing Pope Francis, they don't really understand all this, you know, really. Help us understand 133 electors, you know, the cardinals, what is happening in this particular Sistine Chapel, what we can't actually see. Paint a picture to us.
Yeah, first of all, you have to get this is a meeting that is extraordinary.
Yes.
Then, of course, it has a name, Conclave.
Yes.
That etymologically, with a key. Just like you say, they are locked.
Yes.
And no media, no phones.
Nothing.
No intruder.
Wi-Fi switched off.
Yes. So, but it means with a key. That is the meaning of the word conclave, with a key. Now that they have been locked, there is a key that will open for the new Pope to come.
Okay.
Locked, but with a key.
Okay.
You see, just to mean they're not locked there to die there. They are not locked there for black smoke only.
Yes.
Even if we'll have black smoke, at last we'll have white smoke.
Yes.
And of course, there'll be that, jubilation and habemus papam. At least we have a pope.
Okay.
And that's why next to the Sistine Chapel, there is the Room of Tears. Yes. Whereby now after choosing, 2/3, of course, majority of the 133. And remember, it's because of the age.
Okay.
Yes, you cannot vote if you are over 80.
Okay.
And people even were asking the question, why ours? Is not.
Yes.
He's 79, yes, but again, if your health cannot make you go there, you are exempted.
Right.
Now, the meaning of that conclave, just like that, with the key, just to open after 2/3 have voted, and of course, the Room of Tears will be there for the emotions. He is not being, like now, if you are surprised today, yes, and someone says, you are our president today, I don't think you'll continue laughing. Just you will see the tears of joy, for the emotion, then for the changing. Remember, yes, cardinals are in red. The skull cap is red, yes, but the Pope, the skull cap is white.
White, yes.
So that's why next to the Sistine Chapel, there is the Room of Tears, whereby he'll change now to the vestments of a Pope, and he'll come out again and to give the blessings, to the whole to the whole world. And that is now for those people who never knew what happened in 2013, and for the Gen Zs and the rest of the Gen Alpha and the rest, they can now understand what is happening.
They're asking, Mami Daddy, what is happening there?
Yes.
And Reverend Mone, before we even get into this, Room of Tears, let's trace back and understand. He talks about the majority. This is the first voting that is happening this particular evening.
Yes.
I understand that.
Yes.
And even in 2013, we had about 5 rounds, which went for about 2 days. 2 votings in the morning and then in the evening, and continues. What is the probability of seeing white smoke today?
I would say, from experience, I think from my reading, I know it only happened once in the history of the church, that within 12 hours, or 12 hours, it was possible to get a Pope elected. Okay. But after that, I think the Pope has been elected at least within the 4 days. Okay. 4 days. But so the probability that this evening we have white smoke, I don't think is there.
Right.
And after all, usually the evening, the first the voting is basically to give the cardinals a direction, for them to have a feeling, where is the Spirit leading them, where is the Spirit, to whom is the Spirit pointing. And then after that, of course, there will be the other subsequent voting that happens, as you rightly said, that from tomorrow, the next day, each day, there are two votes that are casted, 2 sessions in the morning, 2 sessions in the afternoon or in the evening. Today, it's only 1. And usually, it's just to give a direction to the cardinals who are present to see where the Spirit is leading them. And after that, of course, now, there is also, I can also imagine that the cardinals who are present there are also having themselves butterflies. So the possibility that they get it right on the first day, the first casting of the ballot is perhaps not there. And maybe it's even better that way, because otherwise the excitement will go away. Very fast. Yes.
I definitely agree, ladies and gentlemen. Some intriguing stuff right here. This particular chimney, as you're seeing it, is at the rooftop of the Sistine Chapel, the Vatican City. Inside this particular room is where the conclave election of the next Pope, 133 electors, are continuing. Total secrecy. We don't really know what is happening, but then we're waiting for the result. White smoke, probability, that is a big question. We're going to pause this particular conversation, continue the news and business and even sports, and then later on continue. So talk to us on our socials. Tell us, what do you expect this particular evening and on this particular bit? Moving